Today we're going to explore a really powerful idea, something written over a century ago that, honestly, feels like it was written for our world right now. It's all about how to find this unshakable source of peace, right in the middle of all the noise.
Does this sound familiar? You know, that constant, low-level hum of restlessness? You finally hit a goal, and for a second it feels great. But then, almost immediately, your mind is already jumping to the next thing. Emilie Cady had a name for this. She called it an awful homesickness, this deep inner hunger that no amount of success on the outside can ever truly fill.
So this leads to a huge question, right? We spend so much of our energy trying to arrange the outside world just right, hoping it'll finally make us feel good on the inside. But what if we've got it completely backwards? What if that deep sense of calm we're all chasing isn't something we have to build or achieve, but something we just need to uncover?
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll get into what this secret place actually is, we'll talk about why no teacher or book can just hand it over to you, and most importantly, we'll look at how you can start to find it for yourself.
Okay, first up, your inner sanctuary. Cady wasn't talking about some far-off, mystical destination. She was pointing to something that is already right here, inside of you.
Think of it this way. It's not a place you go to, it's a state you tune into. It's this inner zone of quiet. It's that meeting point between your everyday thinking mind and that deeper, more intuitive part of you. This is where a simple belief turns into a deep knowing. It's a place of real calm and clarity that's always there, no matter what's going on in your life.
Cady had this great way of visualizing the problem. She pictured our conscious mind as a really busy street, just packed with thoughts, worries, and to-do lists zipping back and forth. The key to finding that secret place isn't to become a better traffic cop. It's to simply turn your attention inward, away from all that noise and commotion.
And this brings us to a huge roadblock, especially for those of us who love to learn. We think, if I just read one more book or listen to one more talk, then I'll finally get it. But Cady would say, that's a trap.
And get this, she saw this happening over 100 years ago, and it's 1,000 times more true today, right? We can spend so much time and energy running from one system to another, just collecting information. But she was really clear. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but it doesn't mean much without the direct personal experience of it. It has to be an inner revealing, a personal discovery.
So here's the crucial difference. Intellectual knowledge is like studying a map. You know about the destination, but inner realization, that's actually walking the path. It's that aha moment when an idea stops being just an idea and becomes real for you. Books and teachers can give you the map, but you're the one who has to take the steps.
Now, I know some of this might be sounding a little abstract, but what if I told you that modern neuroscience is actually starting to validate what Cady was describing just from intuition? Let's look at how science actually builds a bridge to this idea of stillness.
The practice of turning inward, of finding that quiet space. It's not just some vague spiritual instruction. It has a direct, measurable effect on the physical structure of your brain. It's just another one of those amazing examples of how ancient wisdom often figures things out long before we have the tools to measure it.
Okay, so scientists have identified a brain circuit they call the default mode network, or DMN. You can basically think of it as your brain's autopilot. It's what lights up when your mind is wandering, chewing on the past, or worrying about the future. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that's Cady's busy street, and research shows that when this network is overactive, it's linked to feelings of anxiety.
So, here's the payoff. When you practice what Cady called sitting in the silence, you are actively quieting that default mode network. And the results are pretty profound. We're talking less anxiety and mental chatter, a sharper ability to focus, a greater handle on your emotions, and for many, a much clearer sense of purpose in life.
And look, this isn't about escaping the world. It's actually about engaging with it in a much more effective, much more centered way. Let's look at how this can change your approach to everyday life.
So let's make this really practical. At work, instead of making anxious, reactive decisions from that busy mind, you start making centered, clear choices. In your relationships, you can shift from those knee-jerk, defensive reactions to more patient, thoughtful responses. And with habits, instead of just forcing change with willpower, which we all know rarely lasts, you start to shift from a deeper place, from who you are, not just what you're trying to do.
All right, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now let's get to the how. Here's a super simple practice you can try literally the moment this is over.
But first, I want you to picture this. It's a great metaphor from modern psychology. Imagine you're in a tug of war with a big, scary monster.
And that monster is your anxious thoughts. Your first instinct is to pull as hard as you can, right? But the struggle is what keeps you stuck and exhausted. The only way to win isn't to pull harder, is to just drop the rope.
So here's how you do it. Just find a quiet moment, maybe just for a minute. And as your thoughts show up, and believe me, they will, your only job is to just notice them. No fighting, no analyzing, no judging. Just drop the rope. Let them float by like clouds in the sky. And pretty soon you'll start to notice the quiet, calm sky that was always there behind them. That is the secret place.
Okay, so to pull this all together, that feeling of always chasing the next thing, it's a symptom, a sign pointing you inward. That secret place is your own center of calm consciousness. Teachers can show you the map, but only you can walk the path. And this isn't just a nice idea. Stillness is a practical skill that literally quiets the brain's chatter.
We're going to keep building on these ideas in our next explainer. And if you want to go through this whole journey from the beginning, you can find the complete Lessons in Truth series in a playlist right here on our channel. So I want to leave you with a final thought to take into your week. Whether it's a tough conversation you have to have, a big project at work, or even just your daily commute, what is one specific area where dropping the rope and tapping into a little more stillness could make all the difference?